You and I never had the choice of learning our first language. It was decided upon by our elders and the society we grew up in, which dictated our learning process. These same people created a material frame within us that forced us to become a copy of their beliefs rather than our own individual person. This is the process of human domestication, where we were molded into a specific being by our elders and society at large. We were domesticated the same way that many other animals were domesticated, through a system of reward and punishment. This same structure constructed a belief system by rewarding us when we did what someone else expected us to do, and punished us when we didn't. The book of law that governs us became the product of everyone else's ideals, and with that came the long-term consequence of self-judgment and misery. This self-judgment emerged from the perfect image implanted in our minds from the beliefs of everyone else while we were growing up. This is what the Four Agreements intends to demolish, to get rid of the shackles implemented in our mind through the process of domestication, the self-judgment that's been fostered within ourselves with the blessing of society. We've lost the innate ability as a child where we weren't afraid to be ourselves, where the acceptance of ourselves wasn't clouded by the fog of everyone else's belief system. The Four Agreements are as follows. The first agreement is to be mindful of your word. Your word is a powerful force that is used as a communication tool to create a gratifying experience or an unpleasant one. The mind is a very fertile place where even the simplest things can manifest itself and grow quickly. Your word can be implanted within someone or even yourself, leading to breaking a belief or making a new one. Language is one of mankind's most important creations that no other species on this planet is able to match. Use your word and your language to spread happiness and peace, not gossip or evil intentions. The second agreement is to never take things personally. When someone gets angry at you or says something insulting, don't take it personally. It's all about them, not you. They're using their word to project their insecurities and beliefs upon you. The reason many people take things personally in the first place is because they agree with them. If someone calls you stupid and you're hurt, it's because you probably believed what they said to you. We as humans are inherently selfish. We focus on ourselves even in situations where we may not be the focal point. Because of that, we tend to take things very personally. But this is not the case. The way someone uses their word is a reflection of their belief system and not yours. The third agreement is to never make assumptions. Assumptions set us up for suffering because it gives us a false sense of understanding. Think back to a time when you were driving and was cut off by another vehicle. Ugh. Your reaction was probably to assume that that other driver was a jerk who had no decency for other vehicles on the road. However, this driver could have been in an emergency or could have been trying to reach someone else in a hospital. The fact is, you made an assumption about that person, which caused you to feel anger and frustration at that moment, which could have been totally avoided. The fourth agreement is to always do your best. Doing your best means letting go of the past and focusing on your current dreams. One of the biggest barriers to our happiness is inaction. You might be sitting at your computer wasting away wishing things would be better. That's not doing your best, man. You're too afraid to take the risk to be happy and apply yourself. If you did everything you could to achieve happiness, you'll look back at yourself in the future and say, I did my best, because you did everything you could to achieve it. And one of the most effective motivators for doing your best is death. It may sound morbid, but death teaches us to live in the moment and not in the past, so that we can use the present to be happy and not dwell on issues that have already happened. It's a waste of energy, time, and effort to focus on past events, as it creates nothing but misery as you try to do your best and become a free individual. But until then, the truth is we are not free. We aren't free because we've been shackled into a belief system that we never had any control over. We're not free because we spend our waking hours trying to please everyone else. And believe it or not, the best example of someone who's spiritually free are kids. They don't care about the past. They don't care about what other people think about them. They don't self-judge or have a stifling belief system like you and I do. They only live in the moment. The fact is, we need to be aware that we aren't free in order to become free. The art of transformation is to become aware of the limiting factors surrounding us and identifying what we need to change so that we can adopt the four agreements in place of those old beliefs. You know what you want. You're conscious of the things that make you happy and the actions you need to take in order to become a free person. You could change your life right now by being mindful of your word, not taking things personally, never making assumptions, and always doing your best. These are the four agreements.